This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I wanted to just do an episode and talk about ways that you can spot a witch, a Luciferian witch, a Kabbalah witch, whatever you want to call the witch. There are ways that you can spot these people in plain sight. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I inciting hate speech or any type of attack or harm on any of these people. I just want you to know this so you can spot these people. And if you want to go up to them and you want to rebuke them, or if you want to go up to them and you want to give them the good news about Jesus Christ, which obviously they already know, they've chosen their side, but if you want to, those options are there. But this is something that's pretty basic. Most people know this already. But again, there's new people to waking up. There's new people to this channel. And if you're somebody who already knows this, why not just refresh your memory and at least mentally tell yourself to always be looking for these things? Because sometimes we can forget these things, just like signs and symbols. We could forget their meaning. We could forget to look for them. We could start operating again in an alpha state of mind and not on a conscious level. So one of the things that's important to see, and you'll see this all the time, and it is very common, is the red bracelet. Now, this is worn by Kabbalah witches, women who practice the Kabbalah. Now, when you hear the Kabbalah, you immediately think of Bagel Town, right? And you think, oh, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, that's because most people don't know what the Kabbalah teaches. The Kabbalah is a form of mysticism and magic. The people who follow the Kabbalah are not following the Torah. But many will be deceived into thinking that they're following the Torah and, hey, they're good people. When in fact, the Kabbalah is nothing more than the teachings of magic. And that is why you see all of Hollywood, all of the music industry, and many people in positions of power around government, corporations, all supporting the Kabbalah by wearing what is called the red string or the red bracelet. Now, you might go into your town, and you might see somebody wearing it, or you may have in the past, or you may not have noticed. And these are the types of things you should notice. You should look for these things because these people are outing themselves in plain sight. It's just a matter of understanding and knowledge and seeing these things and understanding why these people are wearing it. Now, they'll tell you that the red string Kabbalah bracelet that they wear is to ward off evil, to ward off evil spirits and those types of things, when in fact that is not true. And all of these evil witches, or if you want to call them warlocks, whatever you want to call them, who practice the Kabbalah will be seen wearing this, and they will tie 7 knots in this bracelet while reading their ritualistic prayer, which is a prayer that is not found in Scripture as far as the Bible, the Old Testament, or the New Testament. You'll see this bracelet on people like Madonna, Ashton Kutcher, Mick Jagger, Britney Spears, Demi Moore, Kim Kardashian, Charlize Theron, Angelina Jolie. The list goes on and on and on. It is male and female, or females, I should say, that wear it, unless you're a believer that everybody is one and the same, which is very much true. Lindsay Lohan, Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay, so it's not a coincidence that all these people that happen to just be really good actors and successful out in Hollywood, they all just happen to practice the same religion, which isn't Christianity. It's this Kabbalistic nonsense that they follow, right? Which again is a man-made type of religion where they're basing it off of, or they're claiming to base it off of the Zohar and other texts that are from Bagel Town. But none of these people, are practicing, or they'll claim that they're practicing bagels, but in a different sense, right? I mean, remember, we're supposed to, if you're somebody who is of that origin from Bagelville, it's supposed to be a bloodline thing, right? And all these people who just happen not to be of that specific bloodline just happen to be worshiping this and following this and practicing this. And then brainwashing people out there into practicing it because they go, well, if everybody in Hollywood's doing it, and you got Ariana Grande and Jake Gyllenhaal, you're talking about pretty much almost everybody who is just a mainstay. So again, look for that bracelet when you're trying to identify these people. And I tell people all the time, always look for jewelry. Always look at their wrists or their hands or anything like that. They'll be marked up with tattoos that will be occultic tattoos, And a lot of the times too, these witches, which will confuse people, actually will have the cross on them. People don't realize that the cross is a symbol which goes back to Wicca. It's a Wiccan symbol. Now, Christianity uses the cross, and I'm not saying if you're a Christian and you have a cross on your neck that you're a witch. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, even though I don't believe in tattoos and I don't think people should have them, if you're a Christian who has a tattoo of a cross, I'm not saying you're a Satanist, an occultist, a witch, or anything like that. But understand that these people specifically will go out of their way to wear crucifixes on their body, whether it's a tattoo, whether it is a neck, a jewelry around their neck, okay? And people see that and they automatically are like, oh, they must be followers of Jesus. This is part of the deception as well, right? Because remember, most of these symbols have dual meanings. They'll give it a different meaning, so people out there think that it means something else, and that way they can get away with doing it, right? Like the AOK sign and the 666 is a perfect example. And a lot of the times as well, you'll see these witches have a cross on their hand. And when they look down on the cross, it's actually an upside down cross. Demi Lovato has this tattoo. Many other celebrities witches, I should say, have this tattoo on their hand. But again, they'll use the cross and the crucifix as a symbol, which is actually a Wiccan symbol used in witchcraft and sorcery and all of that. And again, it doesn't mean if you have that on you or you wear that or you have one in your home across on your wall, it doesn't mean that you're a Satanist. I'm not saying that. I'm saying these are ways to identify them because they will constantly try to confuse and trick you, right? You'll see Madonna wearing the Cabal bracelet, but then you'll see Madonna wearing a cross around her neck, and you'll go, huh? Wait a minute, I thought that she was a follower of I guess she's a follower of the Old Testament, right? This is all stuff to confuse you. These people are outright practicing Satanists. That's what they are. That's what witches are. And for people out there who continue to just want to give a pass or want to, in their head think these people don't exist, the Bible speaks so many times about witchcraft and sorcery. You have Exodus 22:18, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. I mean, it sounds pretty serious as far as how God looks at these people. And I think that, a lot of us need to be looking at these people and casting them out and calling them out instead of letting them continue to grow amongst us and influence other people. And, the dangers of spell casting, the dangers of all of this stuff is serious. And that's why a lot of these things happened in the past involving, burnings and all that stuff. That's why it happened. It wasn't just because they were pissed off and they said, hey, I don't like a witch. Let's do this to them. It's because of the dangers of it. The dangers which also involve these black magic rituals, these rituals involving children, the stuff that I'm constantly talking about. It is all one and the same. And again, like I said yesterday, there's witches who just play around with grass and love trees and do these stupid little potion things, but it is still forbidden by God. That doesn't mean that those people are murderers or anything like that, okay? But they shouldn't be practicing it either. So a witch is a witch to me, just like I said yesterday. An a-hole is an a-hole, okay? There's no way around it. You could say, well, there's different, severities and it's different, there's different things that they perform and all that stuff. But as followers of Christ, we need to be calling this out and exposing it because it couldn't be more real. They didn't just up and all of a sudden after the witch trials and stuff just go, all right, we're not going to be practicing this crap anymore because, we're going to get hung from a tree. They came up with a new game plan. And the game plan was to deceive. The game plan was to go, all right, we need to change the game because we're just going to keep getting cast out. So what did they do? They started using MK Ultra. They started brainwashing people into thinking witchcraft and stuff wasn't real, even though they were constantly showing it to you in every Disney movie from the age of, a child's 1 year old watching this crap. They're indoctrinating you with it, thinking that it's safe and it's fun and it's not dangerous. Then they use the word magic and they incorporate it with things like love, right? Oh, when I met the girl, it was like magic. Oh, the Magic Kingdom. Oh, what was it like when you won the Super Bowl? It was magical, right? And it's just constantly this term used, and people don't realize the severity of it and how these people are still practicing these rituals. That's why I'm talking about some of these rituals that are going on pertaining to these other celebrities. I'm not saying it because I'm a fan of these people and I want to talk about them. I'm saying it because this is a way to wake people up and to go, look, do you see the signs? Can you connect the dots? Look what they're practicing. This stuff is forbidden in Scripture. Revelation chapter 21, verse 8, but the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, the idolaters, and all liars, they will be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur. This is the second death. Okay, and there's many verses that talk about this stuff, that talk about do not practice divination, do not practice sorcery, do not practice with mediums. Okay, and these are all things that are tied to witchcraft, right? The mediums who do psychic readings, people think that that's okay and save the Bible, openly talks against it. So why do you think there's so many TV shows and so many celebrities that are on these shows and they're going to the Long Island medium for a reading, right? And then people are like, oh, I should go. And they fall for all this stuff. Not saying it's not real, because it is real. These people do channel spirits and then they mislead people. And then they get people on board. Oh, you talked, your father is here in spirit. And then these people start suddenly, oh, I should get tarot cards. And I should start practicing this in my home because it sounds like fun. Maybe I could channel my great uncle and talk to him. You see how they do it? And they do it in like a way that makes it appealing, right? They're not going to do it in a way and go, hey, practice black magic. You drink blood out of a skull and, children are involved with all this disgusting stuff. Come on aboard. People would grab their pitchforks. So instead they indoctrinate. So I just want to do a video because, you'll be out at a restaurant and you'll see a waitress wearing the red bracelet. Now, as Christians, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything. And of course, I'm not saying to do anything like physically. But as a Christian, if you're somebody who feels drawn, if you look at the person and you say, maybe I could say something to them and help lead them back to God. Maybe they're confused because a lot of these people are confused. There's different levels here. You're talking about, the Madonnas of the world, the Hillary Clintons of the world. These people are beyond saving. These people are high-ranking priestesses and priests, okay, who do this stuff regularly, who have made a choice. Then there's young people out there who see the celebrities and then they want to be like them and they start practicing like, oh, maybe I'll get good luck because I'll get the bracelet and then nobody will cast any things onto me. And they don't even realize that the bracelet they're wearing, where they're thinking that they're casting away evil, is bringing evil to them. They don't have a clue. So if you see these things, and again, I mentioned the cross because I'm mentioning it because you will get confused at times, being able to tell who's who. Because, like I said, Madonna and these people will wear crosses all the time. Okay, but remember, it's a Wiccan symbol, a pagan symbol. All right? That doesn't mean if somebody has it in their home or something like that they are one. But don't be deceived by it. The red bracelet is an easy tell with these people. So if you see it on somebody and you felt led to rebuke them or you felt led to say something and ask them a question or be nice to them and then try to lead them to God or say, hey, you shouldn't have that on, that's up to you. But I want to make you aware. And I know most of you already know this. I get it. This is basic 101 stuff. But I didn't have a video on this out there. And the more people that continue to find my channel need to know these things and become aware of it, because these people are not hiding. They are wearing these things in plain sight. And we have to continue to cast them out, call them out, and make people aware of who they are and what they practice. Okay? They aren't practicing, the Torah here with their Kabbalah bracelets. They're not reading the Old Testament and following it like people's minds have been programmed to think. Okay, they're following witchcraft. They're following mysticism. Okay? They are learning all of these things about casting spells and doing all sorts of divination and all sorts of demonic possession and summoning demons and spirits. That's what they're doing through these things. And the red bracelet is a sign that they're a practicing witch in the Kabbalah. Now, they might not go, hey, I'm a witch, because they won't even get it probably. But that is what they are. So keep that in mind. I thank you for listening to today's show. I hope you found this information useful. God bless all of you and your families.